Welcome to the third part of our Unity networking multiplayer series, and today we will synchronize the movement and the animations. First of all, we need the prefab. I renamed it to player a few times, but it seems there is a bug in Unity 5.3, which was released yesterday, and I can't rename it. Okay, but that's not a problem. First of all, let's add two new components. These components require a network identity on the same game object, the same as our player script does. Let's assign network transform and network animator. First of all, let's do the easy one. Just drag the animator, drag it on the label here, drag it down to the network animator, and yeah, that's it for the network animator. The network transform should work out of the box, because if you add this component to a game object, it looks automatically at the components and chooses the best settings. But there are a few things we have to check before using it. First of all, make sure if you're using a physics-based movement, which is the case, because we have a rigid body and no character controller. If you have a character controller, then you should use sync character controller, otherwise sync rigid body 3D. If you're using a rigid body 2D, you should use this property and this setting. And if you're only transforming and transform, and this transform doesn't have a rigid body or a character controller, then just use sync transform. But we will use sync rigid body because we have physics-based movement, and here's our rigid body. Basically, these are some settings we have to tweak while we're in-game, because these are the values. For example, this value defines how much we should move before sending the next movement update, and this is the value that defines if our position changed more than 5 units. 1 unit is equal to 1 meter, and if we move more than 5 meters between one movement package, right now we are sending 9 movement updates per second. If we moved more than 0.001 units, and if we moved more than 5 units, then the player won't interpolate between these two positions. It just will teleport. And this is the case if I'm changing the coordinates of the player in the editor, for example. Interpolation movement is the interpolation value, because we need to interpolate because we're only sending 9 packets per second, but the human eye sees about 30 frames per second, and we don't want to send 30 packets per second over the network, because this we need to calculate the difference between one movement update and the other movement update, and that's called interpolating. Calculating the positions between one and another position. Okay, now we have to change a few things in our player script. First of all, alternatively to use start, we can use on start local player. Last time I used I think it was on start client or something like that. This doesn't work because as the client starts up, the player isn't spawned, and that's the reason why it's not called. But on start local player is called as soon as the player is fully instantiated. And here we assign the camera, and we have a few other things to do. First of all, we need the network animator. Network animator equals game object point find opt. No, there's an easier way. We just use this get component because we want the component that is on the same object as the player class. Network animator, and then just I need to check how much parameter the animation controller of the player has. Give me a moment. Prefab player. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 any parameters, and oh yeah, basically those are these here, and we have to sync them. And to tell the network animator that he has to sync them, we just set parameter autosend to true for each index, and yeah, we could write this line 6 times, but there's an easier way. Just make a for loop, restart by 1, by 0, and as long as the counter is smaller than 6, and increment I each time, and then just use I here. Okay, that should work. And oh yeah, we have to do the same on the client. Let's make a method here for that. Private void set up network animator, or just call it setup animator, and then we simply call setup animator, and we do the same on the other client. Oh, and we should override this one. Change the signature to public override void, and then create another override void called pre-start client. I think that's the right one. Set up animator, and now we have to modify the third person character. Third person character, or just double click on this one here. Yeah, and the first thing we have to, we simply have to disable input for the other players, and let's just, yeah, for example, here we are updating the animator. We should only update the animator if we are the local client. We should only move if we are the local client. Yeah, then just make this simple check. Oh, and we have, yeah, this should be, we should make this a network behavior. Okay, and now we can check if this is a local player. If it's not a local player, then just return. Okay, then let's build the client. Okay, I think it works. Yeah, the animations are a bit bugged, but wait, I just put the window on my second screen, and as you can see, we can move around. And yeah, we have to tweak the values as I pointed out before. Okay, the only way to tweak these values on the network transform is in the editor. We can't tweak the values in this final build. But there are values that affect the sending of movement packets, and there are values like interpolation movement that only these values modify on the behavior on the client who's receiving the packets. And so we have to figure out which of these two player objects here is sending and which is receiving packets to tweak the corresponding values. And then we have to remember these values and set them later if we exit the blame. Oh, wait, we can set them directly in the prefab. Yeah. But first of all, which of these objects is the sending object? This is quite easy to find out. On a game object which with our network identity, we have this information tab here. And the important thing is right here, is local player. And if we switch between those, we see that this object has no, and this has yes. And that's basically the value which we are using to determine if the player is the player we control or not. And if we want to tweak values we are sending, then we have to tweak these on the object which has local authority or is local player. And if we are tweaking values we are receiving, we have to tweak these on this object. Okay, the first problem is, as you see, the rotation seems kind of wrong. That's because the player rotates too slow. Therefore, we have to edit the object which has no local authority, and this is this one. And let's turn this value up. Like, let's try 5. Okay. Yeah, this seems fine. Let's go with 5 here, and we also can sync the angular velocity. This may help a little bit. Or let's try again with this property off. Oops. Okay, then yeah, I think off is fine. Or wait, let's apply these changes. First of all, we change this value to 5, and yeah, okay, let's go with this on. It's okay, I think. Compress, and we don't want to compress the rotation. And let's increase the network send rate to 20. And yeah, this should do it. Let's try again. For these changes to take in effect, we have to recompile. Lost here, join here. Okay, and let's do a final test. Oops. Okay, it works. Nice. And we even can start more of these clients. For example, this one. Let's start 2 more of them. I drag them to my second screen. Join, whoops. Yeah, this happens when another player is spawned at the position where a player is already standing on. Okay. Yeah, it's a little buggy because I think you have to tweak these values more, but yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, if you like these and the other videos, please leave a like and see you in the next episode. Bye.